building is
All right.
challenging.
We are officially calling this meeting to order. And I want to say at the very beginning, and thanks to everybody, and especially to Anita, who filled in and helped me out and covered for several months now. And
We didn't do a good job, but I tried.
Well, I think you did a wonderful job. Thank you, everybody. And I'm so glad to be back. I missed everybody. And I have to say one thing to everybody in Littleton. It's a wonderful town. People are so kind and thoughtful in this town. And we should be proud of our town. So I won't say anymore because I'll cry. I'm a very emotional person. Anyway, so having said all of that, I'll do my best. Correct me if I make a blunder. Help me out, whatever. So, okay. So, we have a quorum. The only one that I'm aware of that's missing is Ann Lee, and I don't not know what's going on for sure with her, but we'll figure that out later. We're good to go. And staff are present. Hi, everybody. It's so good just to be down here. So, okay, and this is an open meeting. Just a reminder about the open meeting law that we must adhere to. And let's move on to announcements. And maybe a few people have some, I do not know. I have a list. So I'm gonna let everybody else start. Here's my long list, so don't let me start. I might take yours announcement away from you. But anybody, board members, any announcements?
Nope, I don't have any.
You all want to know what's on my list.
I want your list.
Yeah. Well, they're not. I thanked Anita. I really am appreciative of the fact that she did a great job. And she was always in touch with me, encouraging me, paying attention to me, and helping me. So, thank you. Okay, I have several announcements, but I want to call attention to this little blurb that I saw in the Action, Unlimited. And you know what? I didn't know that Shattuck Street, this building, is celebrating its 100th year anniversary.
Yes.
And I think that's so exciting. And so I think we ought to get the word out to people. And the celebration will be this Saturday, 11 to 1, at the back, 37 Shattuck Street, not the 33 Shattuck Street entrance that we use to get in upstairs. And there's going to be cupcakes, as long as they last. And the Historical Society is supporting this and putting this on. I think that's wonderful. It's so exciting. And this is kind of a gem of a building. So,
Right.
Okay, so that's one announcement. I just want to mention the fact that we have a new select board member now. We had town elections last Saturday. Congratulations to those who won the seats that they were trying to win. And sorry for people that didn't win, that's the trouble with elections. But we have a new member on the select board, and tonight, I think, usually it's the case that the new people that are elected on Saturday start their new job on the following Monday on the select board. So on Monday night, Karen Morrison should be there, and we have had some other changes. We have, Anna Houston, I think. She's remaining on the planning board, so it was,
Someone's on the school committee.
Yep.
Yep.
I didn't list the whole thing. People can find it on the.
I don't know who either of them are, but I just.
Yeah, the whole list is on the website for the town, so you can get it there if you don't know. Like someone this morning said they hadn't heard yet, so now without a newspaper and
No,
et cetera, it's
the
hard
other
to
one
get the
wasn't.
information out. Okay. Also, I noted that I was looking at the agenda for the select board meeting tonight, and John Borowski, our vets agent, is really looking and is putting a call out to veterans to participate in the Veterans Memorial Day Parade. And so, please, people that are watching this, and board members, mention it to your friends, ask them to mention the word. he's looking for vets because not too many vets have been participating in the parade, and that's a shame. It really is. So I think if we get the word out, all you have to do is call him if you want to ride through the parade. You don't have to march in the parade. So, and his number is 978-540-2485 for more information, and he can help you out, and, you know, let's help support veterans and the Memorial Day Parade. So, you get that word out. Okay, and earlier, but just before the meeting, we had some people talking about the spring fling coming up in May. And who would like to talk about that? Because I think we ought to get the word out about that. I'm excited about it.
Nicole should
Nicole
talk about
is
it.
going to be talking about that? Well, I think just we want to get as an announcement too, because people need to be aware, Nicole. So if you don't mind, can I steal a little of the thunder and you can get to it? Or do you want to come up and do it yourself?
Go ahead.
Okay. Well, if I got it straight, the spring fling is May 31st in the multipurpose room here at Shattuck Street from 7 to 9? No, 4 to 9. 4 to 7?
4 to 7.
4 to 7. Thank you. It was almost up there. So, and Mark Crory's band is going to be there. And that should be a draw. A lot of people know Mark. His band is great. It should be a really, really fun event.
It will be.
And I'm sure Nicole's going to fill us in a little bit more later on in her report. But anyway, I just wanted to help. And again, spread the word. Get people out. We need people to start coming out to things. All right. And in Lee's absence, I would like to mention the Memory Cafe. She started that up again last month in April, and it went well. But we have openings, pardon me?
Two people there.
Two
Two people showed up.
Two different people, yes, I know, yep. And it was very successful, it went well. And Ann Lee I know she would speak about it if she was here. And so please, get the word out to people. If you know that somebody's a caretaker for somebody, it doesn't have to be somebody that has a diagnosis of dementia. It's just people that need a little bit of help, and you've got a caretaker and an individual situation, and get them out, help them. So spread that word, please,
It's the
too.
last Saturday of the month.
Right. So, just want to, and, you know, spread the word. You may not have a need for yourself, but if you mention it to somebody else, you know, help get the word out. So. All right. Now, does anybody have any other announcements? So, I've been trying to pay attention and get my mind, you know, into what's going on again. Okay. If not, we will move on to the minutes of the April meeting. And we do know, before I turn it over to you for your discussion, if you look at the copy that's in your packet, let's see, where is that? On page 2, up under the chart, at the top of the page, you have a word over to the left, and that's just, it was a carryover from the page 1, the years at the bottom of page 1, carried over. When I went to condense the first and second page because the Lorelei's signature was the only thing on page 3. And so when I condensed it and took out spaces, apparently I missed that. So, just so you know, and thank you, David caught that, so.
That's right.
And now I will keep my mouth shut now and open it up to all of you. I was not at the meeting, so I cannot participate. So,
I move that we accept the minutes.
I second.
okay, it's been moved and seconded that we accept the minutes of
April 10th.
April 10th. Any further discussion? Not hearing any, we will take our vote. Lorelei, hi, I didn't even say hello to you, I hope you're there.
I'm here.
Okay, thank you. There she is in her fantastic hat. So, okay, Marilyn
Yes.
and Lorelei, you want to vote? I'm sorry, I didn't ask you for your vote.
I vote yes.
Okay, thank you. She's hard to hear. Can everybody hear?
Sometimes she's loud, though.
Okay.
Wasn't it last
All right. Susan,
Abstain, I wasn't here.
you weren't here, so you're abstaining. That's an abstention. Anita?
Yes.
Jean?
Yes.
Ann Lee is absent. Joe?
Yes.
And David?
Yes.
And I was absent. Okay. I do believe that we have voted to approve the minutes, and it's a unanimous vote of everyone that was there.
No friends today.
Pardon me?
I just looked and said, no friends today.
No, Sandra is not going to be here.
I have a report on her behalf.
So, okay, we're going to be moving on to the Friends report, but as I just said, Sandra notified us that she's not able to make the meeting, but Liz has some information she wanted to share. So, you're on, Liz.
Sure. Had a conversation with Sandra this afternoon, and she wanted me to share that in June, she is inviting friends groups from towns surrounding Littleton, about 20-mile radius, to have a kind of a regional friends group meeting. And she's going to hold that over at the library, and they're going to share fundraising ideas. Jean, did you book that?
Probably.
So that will be coming up in June, and hopefully they all get some great ideas and good brainstorming. And that was all she had to report for today.
Is that the first time they've gotten together like that?
They used to do that pre-COVID.
Right.
Oh, good.
Probably last time was 2018 or 2019.
Great.
So it's been a while.
It's nice to host it here in Littleton.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's, I think, needed. Probably people need to regroup.
Hmm.
Certainly here in Littleton, it would be helpful to have some fundraising, active fundraising. So that's exciting to hear, actually, I think. Okay. Moving on, we're right down to the reports, the director's report.
Okay. Share my screen as usual, pull up our statistics. You know how much I love statistics. There we go. Just move that. Okay. So April was a busy month, not as busy as last month, although with the cases that come in, it feels complex and everything feels like a lot of work. But our outreach was strong. Our under 60 outreach was the highest it's been this fiscal year, with 185 instances of assistance provided. Transportation is still up 170. Good news is we have brought a new van driver on board.
Oh.
Nicole's in the process of getting him all set up. He just met with HR, and his name just escaped me. Thomas Bennett?
Yes.
Yes, Thomas Bennett. And he's going to be starting his training with Mark soon, and you'll be seeing him doing ride-alongs, going around town. So really excited to have another van driver on board. Other than that, activities were still strong, 889 check-ins for the month of April. Any questions about those stats?
Well, that is exciting about the van driver, and I remember so vividly that Elizabeth Chen was so excited about our transportation that we provide for seniors when she was here, so that only enhances it, makes it better.
Yes, and we need van drivers more than ever because we are doing restaurant hoppers and Romeo and Juliet breakfast clubs, and we use a van driver for all of those in addition to our regular Monday through Friday on-demand
Wow.
transportation.
There's another thing that people can spread the word about, not that I
And
want
the discussion you just had about the Romeo and Juliet breakfasts, I really think that anybody watching should really take part and get their friends involved. The last 3 times that we've traveled, we've only had 8 people, and it would be nice if we could get more people going to the breakfasts. All the places that we've been are very friendly, easy to get to, and delicious food. But I don't think that enough people are getting involved, and that's a shame because it's a nice morning. So hopefully more and more people, with the weather getting better, will
And you know,
do that.
I did not know this, I just realized, found this out this morning myself, but Paul's Diner has seating outside in the parking lot now. They've been cordoned off. Yeah,
Neat,
tables
right?
and chairs, and so, yeah, it's amazing. So, you feel like you're in Boston. So,
Make note of that.
yeah.
Okay, next on my director's list is, wanted to just let you all know that I'm pursuing a technology grant that was put out by the Executive Office of Elder Affairs, and the purpose is to enhance digital literacy in older adults. It seems like it might be a little bit competitive, but if we are selected, you can get anywhere from $5,000 to $100,000 in technology, equipment, instructors, devices. So I've been spending the past 2 weeks, I've talked with Sam over at the library about MiFis and hotspots and different devices that they loan out. Contacted the Disability Commission, Eric, who attended one of our meetings once, just to make sure that the equipment I'm requesting is all inclusive of everyone who might want to use it, borrow it, loan it, come to our center and use it. And also Dr. Ford, our audiologist who comes here for hearing screenings, contacted her about different devices. So I'm trying to hopefully get a grant that will provide us with the equipment that will serve everyone. So fingers crossed, that's due on the 22nd, and I'll let you know at the next meeting, hopefully, if we were selected or not. But that would be a huge help. And the last thing on my list is senior tax work-off program. We set the dates. Again, we'll have a July 1 start date unless you were on that alternate timeline and your job fell within town meeting or town election time during May. I will be putting all the information in the next broadcaster. It'll be up on the website. And again, like last year, we'll be contacting people who are already in the program via email and having the online sign-up sheet, so you don't have to make a special trip to come in the office if you are already an existing senior tax work-off participant. If you're brand new, you still have to come in the office. You have to fill out the onboarding paperwork for HR. It's kind of a hefty packet, but I think it's worth it for a $1,500 abatement.
Wow, it's up to $1,500 now.
Yes,
That's amazing.
before taxes.
Well, but still, that's a big chunk of change.
Yeah, it's a big help.
It is a big help, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's a huge help.
$1,500 per household. Per household.
Mhm.
And if you are in need of this assistance, but you are physically unable to leave the home due to a disability, a condition, your health circumstances, or you're a full-time caregiver for somebody with dementia, we do have a proxy program within this senior tax work-off program where we can have an additional worker do work on your behalf, and you get assigned their hours. So you still get an abatement,
Oh.
and somebody volunteers extra hours towards your abatement.
How nice.
Yeah.
Now, if
That's
you,
really nice.
if you're going for the senior tax work-off
Mhm.
and you are a veteran,
Mhm.
you can't double dip, right?
You can participate in both programs.
Oh, you can? Oh, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. I didn't know if you could do that.
Yep.
So you could double what you're getting by doing that. That's great.
No,
As long as you can find the jobs.
Yeah,
yeah.
right,
Right.
right,
Okay.
right. But that's good that you can do both.
That was it for my list.
Okay. Any questions for Liz?
Mm.
Things are hopping, as usual, huh? So, that's all good. Okay. Now Nicole can talk about spring fling. I'm excited about that myself.
I'm excited too. So Spring Fling, May 31st, 4 to 7 in the multipurpose room. As you said, Mark Corey's band, the California Dreamers, are going to be playing. Dancing is encouraged. We're going to have a senior tax worker who volunteers with LCTV as a photographer. She's going to be taking candids. We also have a balloon archway with a backdrop, so if people want to take posed pictures, you can also do that. We can send you the file, so you can have your own special picture of the night. So it's going to be very fun. Make sure to RSVP. It's $5 per person. So that is exciting. I also wanted to just highlight some of our intergenerational programs that are coming back. I was able to meet with Nancy Levine a few months ago, and she kind of refreshed my memory on all of the intergenerational programming that she had coordinated before COVID. And so we started up Book Buddies for May. This is the first month. And all of the dates in May filled up before the May broadcaster even came out.
Wow.
And we have 8 dates in June, and 7 of them are already filled. So
Wow.
this program is really popular. I'm hoping that Shaker Lane enjoys it as much as we do, so that we can start again in September and do it for the entire school year next year. And let's see. I wanted to give an update on the Chenal 15 collaborative grant. So I worked on this grant with Acton and Boxborough in February of 2020. And so because of the timing of our approval for that grant, most of the things that we've done have been virtual. We did have an ice cream truck here 2 summers ago that was paid for by the grant. But we still have money left in the grant, and now we're going to be doing some in-person things. We have a trip to Kimball's coming up in June, and we're also going to be doing Fridays in June at Nara Park, and we're going to be having coffee and pastries, donuts, bagels, sort of situation.
Nara Park?
At Nara Park, yes.
Nice.
Oh,
So
wow.
Nara Park has a really nice walking path that's paved. It's pretty flat. And they have picnic tables. It's a really pretty area to spend a Friday morning. And just one more thing, I wanted to thank Sue Raymond because she is working hard on bringing back our bi-monthly birthday parties. They're going to start in June. So anyone over 70 who has a birthday in the months listed, it's for 2 months, can RSVP to us and come to a birthday party. We'll have cake, trivia, and prizes for the winners of the trivia. So that's it.
Okay. Any questions for Nicole?
She's got a lot going on.
She does. You know, those breakfasts you mentioned earlier are really, I think, very nice. I did get to one of them.
Yeah.
Sometimes the timing hasn't been so good. Hopefully I'll be better now with getting out to things. But, and I think it would be, in fact, I was just talking to a senior this morning and about those breakfasts and how she's been attending and how much she enjoys it. So spread the word. A lot of this is just, getting the word out to people so that they're aware, and because people just don't always read their broadcaster or get a broadcaster.
And you don't have to ride the van. You can
No,
drive yourself.
drive yourself and meet
to
people.
wherever it is, where it happens to be that.
But you have
That
to,
particular date, you can drive yourself.
but do you have to let people know that you're going to be there, even though you're driving yourself? That's my thought, okay. So, but that's okay. So, feel free to do that. Some people don't like to ride a van. Yeah. Okay. Anything else? Nothing else for Nicole? No? Then the 2 outreach workers are on.
Welcome back, Marge.
Oh, thank you.
Nice to see you.
Thank you. I'm so glad to be back.
So I don't have much. I just had a quick update. So typically with SMOC, they end their application deadline on April 30th. So they're extending it a little longer. So we have until May 12th to submit applications. So if there's any last minute application
Friday.
submissions for the next couple days, definitely reach out. This is for fuel assistance. SMOC is fuel assistance. So if there is people that would like to apply, they can definitely reach out to us to get those last minute applications in. So.
Is that for fuel for this year?
For the 2022-23 season, yes. So the time frame for which the heating assistance is provided for is November to April. So that doesn't change. They're just extending the deadline for applications. Yeah. So just that quick update, that's all.
Nothing else from outreach? I know you're busy. You're not going to try to convince me that you're not. So, nothing to talk about though, huh? Okay. Should we let them slide?
Well, yeah, they're quite busy upstairs. You did not mention, though, that you have beautiful new offices.
Oh.
And the offices are all set up, and they look very nice. So you should all, watching, stop in and say hello.
Great. All right. If we have no questions for all of our staff, any of them, director, assistant director, and outreach workers, we can entertain a motion to accept their reports.
I'll move that we accept the reports of the directors.
Okay. Any other further discussion?
Second?
No? Second? We have it
Second.
moved and seconded that we accept the report from the director, the assistant director, and the outreach, Amy, for the outreach coordinators. All those in favor? Let's see. Lorelei? Hello?
Yes.
Yes, she's a yes. Okay. Marilyn?
Yes.
Thank you. Susan?
Yes.
Anita?
Yes.
Jean?
Yes.
And absent Joe?
Yes.
David?
Yes.
And Marge is a yes. All right, we have a unanimous vote. And we have approved all of the minutes, the reports. Okay, under old business, it's still old business. It's not new, and that's a good thing, because we're still working on that senior center. And it's gonna be happening sooner than later now. We inch our way along, and we're slowly getting there. So what's the latest, Liz?
Okay. So the latest is on this past Friday that we just had. Commodore Builders, the construction managers on this project, refined their budget of the design, development, and the drawings. So they're going out, releasing the site package and getting that out and posted for bids.
Oh, wow.
So that is on Combis, it's in the Lowell Sun newspaper. We're looking for the request for qualifications and posted to the Central Register. This is all very much outside of my scope of knowledge, so
Right.
thank goodness we have Vertex and Brian Forrest on this, because he is spectacular. I know Brian Forrest is on the agenda for the Conservation Commission. I don't believe they have anything before them, but they were discussing using the site down here for fill, for keeping the dirt and things that they're excavating, so we don't have to offload it off-site.
Oh,
So they're just making sure that they don't have to have any buffer zones if they relocate the soil.
Do we have to go in front of the planning board for site plan approval?
That is a very good question. I don't think that we have to do that. I know Commodore is still finalizing part of their contract, and that's in with legal right now. And once they are done with that, then they will be providing more robust monthly or bi-weekly PMBC updates.
Mhm.
you used to be attending, oops, I'm having the microphone loud now, all of a sudden. Shocked me. You were having weekly meetings, and it was more details about the design and that kind of thing. So it sounds like that has all slowed down right now.
That is pretty much finalized. There's
Okay.
some details that we'll go back to later, like we've been discussing the flooring and the acoustics in the main foyer area, things like that, but the big picture design was finalized as of Friday.
Okay, so are you still in those weekly meetings still, or?
Yes and no.
Okay.
The ones with the design team and the architects, yes. The ones that are technical, which is with
Right.
Commodore and the architects and like LELWD, I'm not in those.
Okay, obviously, it's not your areas of expertise, I'm sure, so. Okay. Any other questions about that? So we're getting there. I mean, there was some talk about August having groundbreaking, but
We're still hoping for August.
we're still hoping for that, so that's still the target. Good. Any other, we have to have that opening. I was so excited when Elizabeth Chen was here, and she's indicated she was gonna come back for that, either I don't know whether it was the groundbreaking or for the final opening, when it was done and a done deal.
Why not both?
Both, yes, I'm thinking of the same thing, so I was so excited to have that, to hear her say that, so, yes. And I think she legitimately was excited for us too. Yeah. So keep tuned, everybody. we're still plugging away at it, but it's gonna happen. It is going to happen.
And we don't want a lot more changes, because every time you make a change.
It sets you back a
have to
little.
pay.
Yeah, and
Pay
it
for
costs,
Every change you make.
Oh,
to the
that's true.
architect. And they make a bundle.
well, buildings are very expensive nowadays, and, and we all know that. The cost of everything is gone sky high.
Everything's costing
So,
way more than we thought that it would.
yeah. So, okay. Any other questions for Liz about that, about the senior center? All right, thank you very much. Now, that brings us to new business. And we have our traditional board member update. Do any board members have any? Susan, you usually are very knowledgeable about what's going on in some of these meetings. She just made a face to me. But I know you're on, well, because you represent us on the Affordable Housing Trust, et cetera, so. What's happening, anything?
I can give a little bit of update from Affordable Housing Trust. One thing is at our meeting next Tuesday is our next meeting. And we are going over a draft of an RFP, request for proposal, to be issued for the property on Tehadawat. The Brown property.
Mm-hmm.
And, yes. And they are hoping to find like a nonprofit type contractor to do a duplex on that site. That's exciting. That's the plan for that.
That's nice.
And then the Durkee Farm area,
Mm-hmm.
Affordable Housing Trust will have 5 acres plus including the farmhouse and the barn. And it's still in limbo as to exactly what will go there, but they're hoping to do something with that piece.
Oh,
So,
stay tuned.
yes, stay
Yep.
tuned. They're also, okay, that's good.
Okay, that's fine, that's good.
That's good.
So, are the meetings,
Next month, maybe more.
are your meetings still on Zoom?
Yes, we
Yes.
still meet on Zoom.
Okay, just double checking, because
Yes.
things change sometimes, and
I
I
know.
lose track of all of that. But I was
think
trying
we're
to,
about the only ones that still
No,
meet
the
on
No.
Zoom.
LBC is
The
still.
board-
The
The
Board of
Assessors is still on
And
Zoom.
FinCom, it depends. We're
Yeah.
sometimes on, sometimes.
We met a couple of times, not Zoom, but we can Zoom.
I know I was trying to be in attendance, just to keep up myself to hearing what was going on, so. Try to get back to doing that again. Anyone else? Any updates? Anybody been out there plugging away at anything? Yes?
Excuse me, I do have one other update.
Certainly.
Sorry. On Minuteman Senior Services, they have moved their offices. They are now no longer in Bedford, they are in Burlington.
Oh.
Don't ask me the address, I've forgotten it. And the phone numbers are all the same, but their specific address has moved.
Wow.
And you can find it on their website, which is minutemansenior.org. So,
Okay. Is that a whole new building for them and everything, or?
it's not, they didn't construct a building, they're leasing
Oh.
in an office
Building?
type building, but the inside was configured for them.
Oh, okay. Because they were in Bedford for quite a long time, I
Right,
think.
they
Yeah,
did.
yeah. Huh. Okay.
I wanted to bring up a discussion about selectmen representation. We were fortunate last year, or not last year, the year before, that we had Matthew Nordhaus come to our meetings and sort of as the selectmen's rep. And then when he would go back to the selectmen each week, that we had a meeting, he would discuss what we were discussing and what was going on of importance with the COA and Elder and Human Services. And since he became chairman, we really haven't had any representation. And I think, my opinion only, not the board's opinion, but I thought I'd throw it out there, that with the senior center coming up, that it's more important than ever to have the selectman rep at our meetings, because a lot's going to be happening in the next year. And this, whoever the representative, he can report back, he or she, and the selectmen have a bigger audience on TV than we do, and that might get more information out to what's going on. I'm just throwing that out for discussion.
And I think too, actually, Joe can probably correct me if I'm wrong, but back, several years back, the select board agreed that the senior center and needs of seniors was a priority, and that's when, and Joe was representing, you used to come to our meetings, didn't you?
Right.
When we met upstairs in 307,
Yeah.
I remember that. And he was representing the
He was,
select board
yeah.
then. So there's value in that. It was very nice. Matthew was very good about always being present, on Zoom. He didn't come to the meetings in person, but that's fine. But, and then if there was anything that came up, he was able to get it back to the select board. I don't know how Liz you feel about this either, but I don't think it hurts. I don't know whether they have time. I know they're pretty busy. And I don't know. What are your feelings, board members?
I think it's important to have somebody, even if they can't make every meeting, but it should be easier now because we're live, but we're hybrid, we're both things.
Right.
So they could tune in that way. I think it's important to have them know what's going on. And as Anita said, it's a great thing for getting word out there to everybody. They definitely do have a bigger audience.
It all matters on the work schedule that they have too.
Right.
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 Well, and all of that will be changing tonight anyway, right, as far as who's the chair? Doesn't that change
Yeah,
tonight?
change tonight,
Yeah.
Yeah,
that all
and so-
changes, yeah.
I don't know, but as a board, do we think it's valuable, and should we even request maybe some attention from them?
I think we should have one, whether they can make it all the time or not, but we should have one selectman that we know is always, if we need anything, that's the one that we should be talking to or going to.
Yes.
Yeah, that's,
the other
I
piece.
guess, what I was getting at too, is like, whoever that selectman is going to be to represent the COA in Elder and Human Services.
Right, I don't think Matthew missed a meeting hardly.
No, he
When
was here all
doing
the
it,
time.
He was always at the meetings.
But I think when he
But some of them
became,
work full-time, so,
when he
you know,
became
that's a little
chairman.
bit difficult,
that's right.
Right, well, when
And when
he-
he became chairman, he had too much to do.
yeah.
Right.
He didn't have the ability to come, and that's understandable.
At least if we had one that we knew, okay, if we need anything, we can always, so-and-so is our selectman.
Our liaison, and that's how I think that originally, way back, and when Joe was involved, if I recall correctly, that was why, and Joe was our connection.
I did it until Kathy got sick, that's the only reason I slept.
That's right, right, that's
Yeah.
right.
And
Yeah.
I think if we appoint or get someone appointed on the board for us, yes, they do work, but these meetings are televised, correct?
Mhm.
So they could have the ability to watch it.
Oh, yes.
At their time,
Yeah.
anytime. They don't
Mhm.
necessarily have to be present.
Right.
But they have to be acknowledged. So because these are indeed filmed, someone could watch it at any time
Mhm.
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
be aware.
Definitely.
Yep. Liz, you wanted to speak, I think.
If you'd like, I could send a request up through the TA's office to request select board.
That would be nice. I was thinking about that, and I thought, well, if the board feels that way, I know I appreciated it when Matthew was, and when Joe was too, and then, as I said, I remember those days, so. Yeah, if we could, since they're reorganizing, so to speak, they are, tonight's a night of, kind of reorganizing a little, and so, great.
But even if they don't come to the meeting.
That's
Just
right.
having the person that you can call, if some.
We know the
Right.
person is going to be so-and-so.
Yeah,
Correct.
that's
I
good.
think it's important too, that if we do it in that fashion too, that we should have one person from this board contact that person, because as a selectman, I know you used to get phone calls from everybody. It's
Oh,
a
yeah.
lot easier to get a call from one
One
person
person,
on that
right.
board.
No, that's a good idea
That's a good
too,
point.
that if we're gonna have somebody, then only one member of our board would contact that person. I like, that's a good idea. That stops all the extra phone calls.
Right, it can
Yeah,
be
that's good.
easily enough.
It's a good
so-
idea.
And so you can decide, it can be just a job that, you know, a board member has, or it could,
As soon as we find out that we will get a representative, which
Right.
we probably will find
We
out
can
who it
make
is,
that decision.
Then we can make it so that one person here responds.
Right,
right.
Yep.
Yep.
I think that's a good idea.
I know, I still have contact with, Matthew has reached out to me a couple of times in the past few months, actually, and he will call me, feels, so, I don't know, but I, you know, and I'm not suggesting anything, but because it's totally up to them and how they're going to be proceeding, I think. But that's a great idea, thank you, Liz. So, okay, any other thoughts about that? Thank you for bringing that up, Anita.
Okay.
That was a good thing. And anything else under board member updates? If not, we added these last agenda item under new business, COA board member continuing education / training requirement. Because all of a sudden, it seems as though a lot of this has been occurring, and the more recent, I don't know what I did with my paperwork, it was LB, what's it called, the training that we all were doing?
The LGBT.
LGBT, I get, my tongue gets tied when I start to get all those letters out, so. But that was a fascinating training, we were talking about it before we started the meeting. And there was so much new information for me, it was a real learning tool. So, and the fact remains, I know we also had, or we have coming up some training sessions from the Department of Elder Affairs, Mass Department of Elder Affairs, with, what's his name now? Oh,
Frank.
Adam, right, Frank, is,
Are we gonna get information as to where that
Yes.
meeting is located in Fitchburg?
Yes, I
Yeah.
can answer that.
there we go.
That's right, because you're going tomorrow.
No,
No.
yes, because I'm signed up for one in Lexington tomorrow,
Okay.
and because I couldn't make the one in Fitchburg. If you go on the link that Liz originally sent out, if you still have it, I'll send it out to, they give the addresses of each of the places.
Right, yeah,
that-
I remember
where
that.
they are. And then today at 2:30 this afternoon, I got an email reminding me that I had signed up for tomorrow and with the address. So you might not get the reminder until the day before, but you get a reminder
Yeah.
with the
Okay,
address.
good.
And I'll send out to everybody that link again. Because
Okay.
I searched through my email to find Liz's original, and if you follow that, it does give the addresses.
Okay.
And I just want to add that actually our manuals have a requirement, which we, during COVID, kind of fell along the wayside, you know, but prior to that, we had been pretty diligent about making sure that people did get some kind of training, something, even if it was a half a day, a 4-hour, you know, session about something to do with senior needs. It could be dementia, it could be medical type information or whatever, but whatever. So I just wanted to also mention, I think that there are many, many ways you can get your education. You don't have to get it by going to a particular training like the Fitchburg, or where is yours tomorrow? It's not Fitchburg.
Lexington.
Lexington, you just said that. So I think that it's important that we get the training, but I don't want people to feel hemmed in that, oh, I can't do the training because, you know, I can't get to Lexington or whatever, because if you work, then that might be a problem. But there's plenty of ways you can get online education. And so I want to encourage any board member too to, you know, just ask, because we have people, you know, I don't know how many board members realize that Lorelei teaches about, and I don't know what her title is. Do you, by any chance? And we could ask her, but
Yeah.
Lorelei,
You got a new job.
She's got a new job. Educate us, because you teach and you learn things, I'm sure, all the time. So help us out here. Are you there?
Sure. Yeah. My PhD is in gerontology, which is the study of aging.
Yeah, so see? And you, how would you meet the need to, I mean, I've thought about you a few times when I think about, you need education, but she knows more than any of us probably, or maybe as much as, like Liz does too. Well, yeah, Lorelei has her PhD and, you know, so it's like, so, I mean, you can practically submit anything to fulfill the requirement, I think, for a board member for education during the course of the year, which I would imagine don't you feel that you could do that easily?
Dementia training.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of online courses that are available for those who need it or don't have the schedule to go in person.
Right. So, and if anybody has a question or would like any information or any help with that, could they come to you, any of the board members? I mean,
Of course.
could you ask if they want? I mean, I don't know, it occurred to me when I was thinking about, you know, continuing ed. I mean, we always used to meet it by having these sessions like like you're going to tomorrow. But not everybody can do that. It's not easy.
And we just had this one, the one on the LGB.
That was an online one, right?
And then we had the one before that.
On dementia
On
training.
dementia training, where to become a dementia-friendly community.
So we've just had two
Oh,
lots of training.
and we're doing really great now.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to kind of put it together so that everybody realized, all the board members too, you can, and Lorelei is more than willing to share information if you want. And, you know, you're not required to do that. I just wanted everybody to realize that. She doesn't get here because of her requirements, of working and everything else, but has a lot of knowledge and is a big help to us. Certainly, just getting the minutes done. So, all right. Thank you. Do you have any questions for the board, Lorelei?
No, not at this time. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, hon. Okay. All right. Any questions for her? No? Anyone have anything to add along those lines or along that kind of thinking? I mean, it's good because it keeps us all up to date, and things are always changing, so. But we're doing really great at getting our continuing ed in. I'm proud of everybody, so. And it's great. Okay. Do we have any other business to discuss today? I think we're down to. And I don't think there's any public input. Is there anyone online? Nope. All right. Do we have a motion to adjourn the meeting? It's so early. This is so nice.
Did I miss it, but did we accept the reports?
Pardon me?
I might have missed it, but did we accept the director's reports?
Yes. Yes, we did. I have it. I wrote it down. I can get it for you.
Thank you. I'll watch the tape. Thank you.
Okay. Yep, we did. I think we're good. Okay. I'll entertain that motion. Did somebody make it and I missed it?
I did.
You did? Anita moved that we adjourn.
With him and support.
And Marilyn's going to second that motion. All right. So, Lorelei?
Yes.
We have a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Yes.
Okay, Lorelei's a yes. Marilyn?
Yes.
Susan?
Yes.
Anita?
Yes.
And Lee's not here. Joe?
Yes.
David?
Yes.
Jean, I skipped over Jean. No, I found it. I found you. You're there. And Marge is a yes, so we have a unanimous vote to adjourn.